Alright, you internet sleuths, which here means detectives. See if you can solve these 6 easy but tricky riddles. It's said that all geniuses are a bit crazy. Well, we aren't sure about crazy, but to solve the riddles in this video, you'll definitely need to think outside the box and try not to take them too seriously. After each riddle, you'll have 15 seconds to think over the solution. After that, you will see the answer and be able to check if your guess has been correct. Ready? Then let's start. An enthusiastic murderer. One murderer seemed to admire the detective skills of Sherlock Holmes and decided to play a game with him. Jennifer was found dead in her house. Somebody killed her with a bullet at her forehead. At the time of the murder, there were 5 people in the house: Selena, Thomas, Marcus, Maria, and Jonathan. The one who killed Jennifer left notes for Sherlock in different places. The detective found them in the art room, restroom, study, cellar, movie room, and utility room. The only phrase on these notes said, "You will find the clues in the same places where you found the notes." However, there was nothing else in the rooms besides these notes. Despite this, Sherlock Holmes needed just a couple of seconds to figure out the murder. Can you do the same in the 15 seconds you have? Your time has started to tick away. By the way, if you feel that you need more time to solve this mystery, you can always pause the video. We won't consider it cheating, don't worry. Have you managed to understand who the murderer was? If your answer is Marcus, you're absolutely right. The thing is that the first letters of the rooms where the notes had been left, placed in the right order, give us the name Marcus. A silly mistake. Rich businessman Mark was killed in his house on the 25th of December. The police have 3 suspects and question them to get to know if they have an alibi. John claims that he was in another state at the moment of the murder. Sam assures the police that he was ill. His doctor told him to stay in bed, and he followed his recommendations. Robert explains that he was in a government organization office filling in some documents. After you've learned this information, can you figure out who the murderer is? You just need to be extra attentive here, and it won't take you long to understand who killed Mark. The correct answer is Robert. After all, the 25th of December is Christmas and a state holiday. No government organizations work on this day. You had to think through your alibi better, Robert. The dates puzzle. Sherlock Holmes is invited to a crime scene. Of course he was. Nobody ever asks him over for ice cream. Anyway, the victim is a middle-aged woman who was poisoned not long before. There are only 3 suspects: Maria, the housemaid, Dorothy, the assistant of the murdered woman, and Lucy, the woman's best friend. Unexpectedly for all 3 ladies who are under suspicion, the detective finds a note in one of the victim's hands. On the note, there are seemingly random dates: the 3rd of July, the 4th of January, the 2nd of October, the 3rd of May. Sherlock doesn't need more than a glance to realize who the murderer is. Do you know who killed the poor woman? The power of Sherlock's intellect is beyond any doubts, but can you figure out what he did in just 15 seconds? Let's see if you have the same answer as the detective. The murderer is Lucy, the best friend. Wow, some best friend. The supposed date before the name of the month isn't the day. In fact, it's an indicator that tells us about the position of the necessary letter in the word. This way, the 3rd of July is L, the 4th of January is U, the 2nd of October is C, and the 3rd of May is… wait for it… L. No, not really, it's Y. Lucy, yeah. It's like that song, Lucy in the Slammer with diet books. Remember that one? No? Okay. A murder in the sauna. Well, here's a case where you will need to sweat the small stuff. 5 friends, David, Paul, Stephen, Richard, and Michael, agreed to have some good time and relax in a sauna. There was so much steam inside that they couldn't see one another. However, after some time, Michael noticed something red touching his hand. He screamed in shock, and after the friends got rid of the steam in the room, they found out that David was dead. The detective asked all the participants of the sauna accident about the things they had brought in with them. Paul showed them his beer in a plastic mug. Stephen had a thermos with him. Richard took a book to read, and Michael had a rope. The detective didn't hesitate and arrested the murderer. Who was it? Think outside the box. The solution might not be the most obvious one. You have 15 seconds and a possibility to pause the video if you need more time. The murderer is Stephen. He brought a knife made of ice in his thermos to prevent it from melting. Then he killed David, and the murder weapon just melted on its own. A messenger of death. Mr. Black sees an extremely rare bird with the name Riddles vulture at a very close distance. Just a couple of minutes later, Mr. Black dies. Can you explain this mystery? This is one more riddle that will demand from you all your lateral thinking abilities. A small hint: if you can't crack this puzzle, Google some information about this bird. The thing is that Riddles vulture is the highest flying bird in the world. It has been seen flying as high as 37,000 feet. So Mr. Black encountered the bird while being on the plane. Unfortunately, after that, the vulture collided with the plane, which led to a plane crash. Supermarket theft. There were some thefts in a supermarket. There were 3 cases in total, in January, April, and June. The security camera recorded such videos. The security officer tried to have a closer look and suddenly noticed one detail. After that, the identity of the thief became clear. What did he notice? 15 seconds for you to check if you are as attentive as the security officer. Your time is over, and here's the right answer. It was the pregnant woman. The attentive security officer noted that in January, she looked about 6 to 7 months pregnant. In June, she looked the same. Seems her baby wasn't willing to see this world. Or perhaps it's the mysterious case of the baby bump that was really a canned ham. So, have you managed to solve all the riddles? Which one was the most difficult to crack? Tell me in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.